All right, well, today I wanted to talk about some tips on how you can get better quality sleep. I'm definitely someone who has struggled a lot in the past to get good quality sleep. My mind would be racing at night, and I would just toss and turn for hours before passing out. Over the past year, I've finally been able to get on a consistent sleep schedule, and I've been able to get roughly 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. This has helped me stay more alert during the day, and it has definitely helped with my energy levels overall. The first thing that I did was turn the blue light off on my phone. If you have an iPhone, you can navigate to settings and then click on brightness. From here, you can select night shift and select more warm under color temperature. I just personally move it as far right as possible. One thing I also did was reduce the screen brightness as well. I found that this helped me out a lot. They always say to try and avoid using your phone a few hours before bed, but honestly, that's just much easier said than done. But just selecting for a more warmer color temperature tends to do the trick. Another thing that has helped me get better sleep is to try and avoid eating anything for at least a couple hours before you go to bed. Now, this is also easier said than done, but this will help because your body won't be trying to digest food and you can avoid acid reflux and bloating, which can keep you awake. I would also avoid drinking any liquids at least an hour before you go to bed. This is pretty self-explanatory, but drinking a ton of water before you go to bed will have you waking up to piss like a racehorse. In the past, I would go lift at the gym late at night between about 8 to 9 p.m. I always liked going to the gym late at night because there tends to be way less people. You can hop on the free weights or you can hop on a machine without having to wait around. But I found that I was so amped up after a workout that it would just keep me up much later into the night. So when I switched my routine to going to the gym earlier in the morning, I would be much more tired before I would go to bed later on. That it helped me. I was so physically tired that I would just be looking forward to going to sleep, and that helped me get much more sufficient sleep than before. Now, in terms of caffeine, I'm definitely a coffee drinker, and I try to drink my coffee early in the morning when I wake up around 8 to 9 a.m. So I used to have a bad habit of drinking coffee later in the day, and sometimes even after dinner. I noticed that this also helped keep me up at night, and I would be just wired to no end, and it would just take forever for me to eventually fall asleep. I also try to do some sort of mental work, whether it be working on a YouTube video for this channel, coding, or something that makes your brain work decently hard. I mean, if you work in an office job, this will definitely do the trick most days, as you'll be dealing with a decent amount of stress daily. Something else that has helped me tremendously is taking a walk outside, usually after dinner. It could be before dinner or after dinner, but sometime between 5 and 7. I found that a 15 to 20 minute walk allows for me to decompress and just kind of think about the day, what went well, what didn't go well. It allows me to kind of just unwind and just unload any stress or anxiety that may be building up for whatever reason. It's really good to get this stress out early in the day so that your mind isn't racing before you go to bed. There's nothing worse than tossing and turning in bed every night, just thinking about what you have to do the next day work-wise or having anxiety about a future event. Try your best to take a walk and get some of that stress, anxiety, get some of those thoughts out well before bedtime. This will definitely help you, get to bed earlier and get more sufficient sleep in my experience. One thing I like to do is take a hot shower right before I go to bed. So I find that this really helps calm down your body. Now, this may not work for everyone, but this has certainly helped me a lot. Nothing more soothing than a hot shower, I'll tell you. I'm someone who also likes reading, and I found that reading like a paperback book for about 15 minutes before you go to bed really helps as well, especially if it's something that's like more mentally stimulating. Not necessarily something, I guess it really depends on what you're interested in, but that certainly helps me a lot. Now, from a physical environment perspective, I like to keep my room temperature at about 68 degrees. Some people may prefer 63 degrees, 65. I like to keep my room temperature pretty cool. And studies show that around 68 degrees is an ideal temperature for sleep quality. I personally also bought and installed blackout curtains, enabling my room to be very dark when I'm sleeping. A lot of the regular curtains, they tend to let a lot of light in that can make it much harder to go to sleep. I know it's a pain installing the blackout curtains. It's not fun. I mean, maybe it is if you enjoy that kind of work, but it's well worth it once you get them installed, and your sleep will definitely thank you. I also tried the night goggles, but honestly, I just hated wearing those things. I hated wearing anything that went over my eyes at night. So I just stick with the blackout curtains, but you can try whatever you think will work for you. The last thing I try and do is I try to go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time. When you train your body to go to bed at a certain time, you're going to develop that habit over time. This may be very difficult, and it's much easier said than done. I'm definitely guilty of this a lot when I'm up late making a video for this channel, or I'm out on the weekends doing stuff. But I really try to go to bed at the same time, at least during the week. So, Sunday night through Thursday nights, I really try to get to bed, around 11, and I try to fall asleep by 11:30, and then I try to wake up around 7 a.m. That's the schedule I really shoot for. Like I said, I don't always get it, but consistently most nights of the week, I really try to maintain that schedule. Well, if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. Feel free to comment down below anything that has helped you get better sleep, and feel free to subscribe. Until next time, take care.